Hi guys. Oh, I have waited too long to make this video, but so I am pregnant, and it was a complete surprise. Caught me off guard so bad in the best way. And I've been married for 14 years and we've never conceived on our own ever. We do have our two beautiful girls, and they were conceived in a lab through in vitro with an egg donor. So we also did a round of IVF on our own before we had the two girls that failed, and that's how we knew that my eggs seemed to be the problem. Like, it's just so crazy. I'm still, like, I'm not in disbelief. Like, my belly's growing and like I have the symptoms and I've seen the baby on the ultrasound, but to have gone for so many years and never got pregnant on your own is just like mind-blowing. So I wanted to go over a few things in this video. I wanted to tell you guys how I found out, and also just how I think this happened. I mean, besides the obvious, but like how I think that we were able to get pregnant on our own. We had just went on a trip to Oceanside for spring break in March, and in the splash pad, and we got home, and it was like a week.
A splash pad.
Yeah, we did, huh? And about a week after we got home, I woke up one morning and I felt sick, and I thought, oh wow, like I must have like eaten something not very good. We had just eaten Mexican the night before at our favorite place, and I thought, man, like, I don't know, I must have eaten something that didn't agree with me, because my stomach felt so weird. And then I got up to help the girls get breakfast, and they wanted to have rice and beans for breakfast, the leftovers, and I went to warm them up and I could not even look at them. And when I smelled them, then I was like, whoa, my senses were pretty heightened. So that was kind of weird, and I thought, all right, well, I don't know, whatever. So I waited for a couple of hours, and then I had a smoothie, and then the rest of the day I felt okay. And then the next day I woke up and I felt sick again in the morning, and that's when I thought, okay, this is weird, because it didn't feel like a virus. You know how you can tell the difference between like pregnant sickness, because this is my third time, you know, and when you're actually sick. And I thought, this is weird. I was late on my cycle, and that also wasn't a surprise to me. I've always had a period, so I've never not like skipped a period, but sometimes I have ran a little late. I have been late, or sometimes I will start really early. So I've like fluctuated from like 23 days to like 35 days. So I was late, but I still was really skeptical. But at this point I thought, well, let's just take a test. And I've taken lots of tests in the past years of my marriage, and they always say negative. So I looked in my bathroom. I had one old pregnancy test, and it was expired. It was from last year. But I went ahead and took it, and it said I was pregnant, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, that's crazy. I doubt it's a false positive. Because I feel like normally you can get false negatives, but you usually don't get false positives. I called Steve, and he was like, really? And he said, okay. And I said it was expired, so maybe I should try another one. He's like, yeah, you know what, go ahead, go to the store, buy another one, and let's just try it again. And by the way, I don't do like the 2 lines pregnancy tests, because those like mess with my mind, like the 2 lines, like trying to decide if they're dark enough. So I always get like the digital ones. They're kind of expensive, so I got like the clear blue digital. So I go buy one, try it, it says I'm pregnant, and I'm like, holy cow, that is crazy. Okay, so let me just rewind back before all this happened really fast. Before all this happened, I had said to Steve, I said, now it's possible I could get pregnant, not a high chance, between now and, you know, when I hit about 40. And I said, so do you think we should like protect? Do you think we should have you go in and he was like, no, he's like, I just really doubt it. He's like, I mean, we've been married for so many years. We've never conceived. We've never even had a miscarriage, nothing. He's like, I just think we're good. He's like, I think we have our 2 kids and that's all that's going to happen. And I was like, okay. But I kind of had like this little like shred of a doubt that he could be wrong, because I knew that all it would take, what do you have? Oh, chalk. Would be just one good egg that would fall. So that's something else to know. I've never had PCOS or like there's not a lot of scar tissue like endometriosis, anything like that. So I've never, like, I haven't had any high risk pregnancies when I was pregnant with these 2. I carried full term. I actually carried past 40 weeks. So I've never, that doesn't seem to be the issue. So I think it really was my eggs that was the issue. So I told Steve, I said, if one good egg falls, like, we could have a third. Are you sure? He's like, yeah, that's fine if we have a third. And I was like, okay. So now fast forward, when all this happened, then I was laughing because I said, Steven, and I jokingly said, this is your fault, because it really was this time, because normally we have to plan it all out and, you know, go through the lab, and go through IVF. But anyways, we're super grateful, super excited. Odette has no idea what's going on. Giselle is so excited. She asks every day when the baby can come out. We keep telling her it's in the fall when the leaves are falling off the trees, and she'll see green leaves fall off a tree and said, look, those leaves just fell. Does that mean the baby's gonna come? But yeah, going back to my eggs, I've been also under the impression, like, and from what I've like read and researched and from what doctors have told me, that you can improve your uterus or like things over time. And well, I think you can. I think you can with lifestyle changes. Not 100% perhaps, especially if it's a genetic factor or if it's something out of your control, out of your hands. But with eggs, if your supply is mostly damaged, like it's mostly damaged, from what I understand. If it's not damaged and you just aren't able to ovulate, I think that could be, you could heal over time and perhaps ovulate better. And of course, I'm not a doctor. This is just my own theory of like for myself. Come here. So, I don't know if that improved over time, that I was able to ovulate better. But all I'm gonna say is like, it's pretty lucky that this one little egg fell and fertilized, because I think most of my egg supply was not good for me to have been dropping eggs all these years or not dropping eggs and for none of them to fertilize. So anyway, hope all that kind of made sense, just to give a little bit of background like about my health and eggs and such. But yeah, so when I took the second test, I told Steve, I said, this one says it's positive as well. And so then we were like, okay, I think we are. Then we wondered though if it was going to last. We thought, okay, well, if it's one of my eggs, what if it like starts developing, and then what if it like just, you know, miscarries? Because so we called the OB and I told them my situation, and they said, come do a blood test to make sure. So I went and did a blood test. So we did 3 tests. And then at 8 weeks, I went in for an ultrasound, because I said, I still just want to know that this like baby's actually progressing. So I was just like super skeptical, and I was thinking of I wasn't being very positive, and I should have been more positive, but I was just thinking of all the what ifs, and I'm such a what if-er person, which is bad. I need to be more just like positive and like have faith, but I was so skeptical. But once we saw this little tiny baby on the screen with the heart beating, and it was measuring at 8 weeks, I was like, all right, this is the real deal. So after being reassured that I was definitely pregnant and the baby was alive and thriving, then we just waited for that whole first trimester just to make sure that it was really happening. So it feels good to be out of first trimester. I was sick. I don't throw up, but I definitely feel sick and I lose like my appetite and stuff. But now I'm feeling like way better and I'm at 17 weeks. So excited to update and document this whole journey. So that's all. Thanks guys. Love you all.